Video, we're going to go over what to look for when you're setting up your laser for racing. We've got a few things that you commonly see in the boat park here that could be improved to make sure that you get the most out of your boat. So let's start with the Cunningham, because it's probably one of the first things you're going to rig. It's really important that you set it up on the port side of the boat, because when you come around the starboard side, you'll only have one line to pull on. You get that maximum ease out of your Cunningham. And what's really important when you're rigging is to make sure you get the most throw out of your system. So as you can see here, this one has been, it's been tied a bit too short of throw. So when it's really, really windy, you might actually run out of travel in this, and you'll bottom it out when you really want more Cunningham. So when you set it up in the boat park in the morning, you should pay really careful attention to the lengths that you're on. So when you're tying your primary line down, the spectra part, and not the part that's in your control line end, you want to make sure that you pull this top block up as high as you can. I probably could have even done a little bit better here to make sure it's all the way pressed up, but this would be pretty good for most days you're out sailing. And then the same thing goes with the Boomvang. This one right here, we had it set up when we built it. This is the first time we put it on the boat. And again, it's got already taken up half of its travel. So what we're gonna do is take the primary line either here or here. This one's a bit easier. So we're gonna work on getting this block all the way to the very top so that we can use every last ounce of Boomvang. Now, the other important thing to note is you want it to be like this when it's hooked in, and it actually takes a bit of movement to come out. So we're just gonna kind of grab a little reference. You're gonna pop this out. Tie bowline. Or if you're handy with splicing, this is a great place to throw either a sliding splice if you want to make it adjustable, or just a nice finished splice in there. Now you can see we're just kind of out of the ballpark here, but if we grab our main sheet and put a little bit on, there's just a bit of tension in there to take the sag out, and that's with fairly average amount of outhaul on. If we pull a bit more outhaul on, it's just a little bit. So if you can just pop it in there, you're not really gonna have the full range. You're gonna have to pull a little bit on just to even snug it up. So my basic rule of thumb is that you have to pull on, a little bit of main sheet, and it should just have tension on it. If it's got a lot of tension on it, you can probably back it off a little bit, but this is a good way to go. And then moving back to the outhaul, the initial setup, you want to make sure that you don't have a situation like this when you tie up your primaries. So we're out of throw here, and we've got quite a bit left. So we'll ease this out. We'll take up a bit of the slack. Once you have these generally set for the lengths that you're looking for, you don't really have to retie them ever again. You can just put them on your boat. You don't want to have too much line out of the back. You basically want to set it up so that when you pulled it all the way on, that the purchase system is run out right about when the sailcloth gets tight. So we've got our system here. You got pretty maxed out haul, and we've got no purchase left. So that's a nice set right there. So the most important thing with your Traveler is that you tie the initial loop here really tight. And then if you don't have a spliced Traveler line, tie a really big bowline at the end so that the tiller never hits it. Sometimes the tillers do kind of clip your knots when you're sailing, and it can be a little bit frustrating. So if you tie a big bowline here, then take the tail as it comes out the other side, pass it through the bowline, make it pretty tight, and tie an overhand knot. And what that's going to do is when you pull on that triangle portion, that's going to amplify the tension. So if you tied it tight in the beginning, as you pull, it'll make it a bit tighter. People might not think of the hiking strap as a control line, but as you sail the boat more, you might find yourself adjusting it more than you'd expect. So to set it up as adjustable, just take the supplied line and pass it between the two pad eyes, loop it back through the strap, and then tie a bowl in where the line passes through the control eyes. I tie a long tail on here so that it makes a bit of a handle so that you can pull back when you're sailing. There's a nice little tail on there for you to pull back. So when you set it up, I like to make the strap as kind of tight as I can. Maybe a little bit of sag in it when it's at its max ease point, so when your handle's all the way towards the back of the boat, and then tie a stopper knot over at the end there to keep that part from sliding. And then when you go to make your adjustment, it should get the strap fairly tight. So we've got it nice and eased here, and then when I pull on my little handle and straighten it up, it tightens up quite a bit. Thanks for checking out our laser or ILCA rigging video. If you have questions, our customer service team will love to help you out. We have tons of accessories, options. We can really help get you exactly what you're looking for.